Ever think for 1 second that I have been blowing this off, not paying attention, or me and Morphe are just like laughing our way to the bank about this?
Hiya, my lovelies! Today's video is going to be about everything that has happened over the weekend to do with Morphe and Jaclyn Hill's first palette with them. I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory on how this all came about if you haven't seen or heard of this before, but I'm sure you have. It's just in case. Jen Luvs Reviews here on YouTube uploaded a video called Why I Need to Take Down My Jaclyn Hill Morphe Reviews. I love Jen and I trust her judgment on things, and she is very thorough in the way that she looks into it. And basically what has happened is her sister-in-law had bought the first Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, but she didn't like it, which Jen found strange as she loves hers and has been using it and recommending it to her subscribers. So she looked into it and found that it was in fact different. The colours weren't quite the same, the payoff and texture, as you can see here in some of these swatches, there is actually a big difference. So Jen contacted Morphe and said something's up here, and they said nothing's changed from our end, maybe you got a dud one. However, Jen being Jen, she looked further into it and found the ingredients list and compared the list and found that it was actually different, and that in fact now included carmine, which if you don't know what carmine is, it's actually crushed bugs that create a red pigment, and shea butter and coconut oil had also been added. I will link to Jen's video because it's definitely a must watch, because it goes into a lot more depth than me quickly summarizing.
Now we have confirmed that either the representative at Morphe is either not telling the truth or they are not aware of the formula change, because there is a formula change from the original version. So any videos that you watch from the launch of this are not going to be accurate to what you can purchase today, unfortunately.
After Jen's video, people were not happy for mostly two reasons. One, that the formula had changed and Morphe hadn't said anything, and two, because the addition of carmine means that it was no longer vegan, and thanks to this screenshot from Truth Sleuth and Zaddy Doll, it was still showing up as vegan on Morphe's website, as short a time ago as December 2019, when the ingredients may have changed as early as 2018. Now, to some people, this addition isn't a big deal, but to vegans who have possibly been unknowingly using a product based on the fact that it's vegan and then it turned out not to be is huge. And I've actually found a similar precedent where a vegetarian ate meat unknowingly and was actually able to sue. The other thing that is bad about this is the addition of shea butter and coconut oil, as people could be allergic, and yes, it is their responsibility to check the ingredients, but if you've used something before and you've never had a problem, then you may be less inclined to recheck every time you rebuy it. And Vanessa on Twitter actually sent Jen a picture of her palette that she bought about a year ago with the sticker covering the old ingredients list. The other thing that people were upset about was that Jaclyn had said this in her video for the new palette.
Same loved formula as the Jaclyn Hill original palette, and people ask me about that all the time because they're like, wait, what do you mean like it's a different formula? Because Morphe has their standard formulas and I created my own formula. There's actually been other people who've collaborated with Morphe who've asked if they can just use my formula, and they're like, sorry, that's Jaclyn's only. Like, I signed papers, it's my formula that I worked very hard on a couple of years back to develop. So
I also found it strange when I was looking back that she had the original version of her palette in the new video, but acknowledges that they've actually changed the packaging twice since.
Jaclyn Hill palette, which is right here, and this is also the original packaging. We have changed the packaging now. Why should I say we? Morphe has changed the packaging on this now 3 times just to keep making it like better and better and better, just like sleeker and sexier.
That kind of made me think that maybe she prefers the original ingredients too. And it was interesting that normally she says we have changed and how involved she is with Morphe and making things, but during that bit she corrected herself from saying we have changed too, or should I say Morphe has changed too. People were wondering if Jaclyn would make a video or something addressing this, but in the end it was Morphe that released this statement that says, "We have seen several concerns about our original Morphe X Jaclyn Hill palette, formula, modifications and ingredient changes, and want to set the record straight. We also want it to be clear that these formula improvements are out of our collaborators' control. Jaclyn was not made aware of the specific ingredient adjustments to her palette and was told only that we work to improve the performance and payoff. While it is common in the beauty industry to make formula adjustments and improvements to keep up with industry standards, it is not customary to announce them. The ingredients in our products are always posted on our website. However, we hear our customers' requests for more clarity and promise to work to increase transparency in any formula. They also went on to say it has also come to our attention that a member of our customer service team shared incorrect information with Jen Luvs Reviews. We are using this as an opportunity to confirm that we did indeed make formula modifications to Jaclyn's original Morphe palette. We apologise to @Jen Luvs Reviews and our customers for this miscommunication and will work even harder to ensure our team share accurate information. We value everyone's feedback and will continue to always improve our customer experience. Now, this statement is both confusing and shady. So I'm going to go over some of those. Firstly, why was it released at 6:40 a.m. UK time and 2:40 a.m. in the USA? Did they think maybe no one would notice? What company releases a statement at that time? The next bit that's confusing and that tricked me at first is that it says we want it to be clear these formula changes are out of our collaborators' control and Jaclyn was not made aware of specific ingredient changes. To start with, I was like, poor Jaclyn, this was her baby, her one really successful launch, etc. But then it says she was told only that we work to improve the performance and payoff. And Jen Luvs Reviews explains this perfectly.
We also want to be clear that these formula improvements are out of our collaborators' control. Jaclyn didn't have a choice. Jaclyn was not made aware of the specific ingredient adjustments to her palette and was only told that we work to improve the performance and color payoff. So she knew that they were changing the formula because in order to improve the performance and color payoff, they would have to change the formula. And then she said in her video that it was the same formula. Okay.
Which makes this part of Jaclyn's video even more problematic.
This is the same loved formula as the Jaclyn Hill original palette.
Although I did notice that not long after that, she does then say, but we made adjustments to the pressed glitter.
And we also have a new formulation that we put in here as well, which is a pressed glitter. There is a pressed glitter in my original OG palette, but we changed it and made it even better. So it is a new one.
The statement then says while it is common in the beauty industry to make adjustments, it is not customary to announce them. However, how many products have you seen with these type of stickers on saying new and improved formula, especially when there's new ingredients that could cause an allergic reaction? And also, they didn't say anything about the vegan change at all, and I suspect it's because they don't want to get sued. If they admit in writing that they changed it and didn't tell anyone, then people would have the ammunition to sue them. So that statement was very craftily written, and I think if Jaclyn hadn't have said in her video it's the same formula, then Morphe would have taken the brunt of the blame for this. She even says that it's her formula and that she signed papers for it so that no one else could use it.
There's actually been other people who've collaborated with Morphe who've asked if they can just use my formula, and they're like, sorry, that's Jaclyn's only. Like, I signed papers, it's my formula that I worked very hard on a couple of years back to develop.
And Jaclyn had said how proud she is of this launch, so it's sad that people aren't loving it so much.
One of my proudest moments of my career is the original Jaclyn Hill palette.
And the other thing is, even in her launch video for this, she said that it took so long to make because of getting the formula just right. So do you think this is Jaclyn's fault or Morphe's, or kind of both? I know Jaclyn has been having a really bad run of it lately and has had a lot of health issues, but it is her name on the palette, and especially after everything that's happened, you think that she'd want to dot her I's and cross her T's on everything so that nothing can come back and haunt her. As of yet, Jaclyn hasn't said anything, and I'm not sure that she will. I did already think that it was strange that she was going back to Morphe when she had her own brand now. But I kind of understand when she said that she couldn't afford at the early stage of her brand to make 39 shades for $39. But this isn't the first problem, so maybe it's finally time for Jaclyn to say this to Morphe.
And I was like, you know, like, basically, I love you so much, I'm flattered, thanks, but no thanks type of thing. You know, I was like, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't want to turn something that's been positive into a negative. Like, let's just let it be.
Okay, so I was literally just about done with this video when I went to Twitter and I found this. Jaclyn has actually replied and said, in regard to all the conversation around my collaboration with Morphe, I would like to clear the air on a personal level. I was aware that they were increasing the performance of the product, pigmentation and creaminess, but not aware of the ingredients changes. For those of you who don't know, you can change performance of a product without ingredients changes. I apologize to those of you who cannot use the palette due to the fact that it's not vegan. Although I am not vegan, I do understand the frustration, and I am sorry to those of you. What do you guys think to this? I'm glad Jaclyn made a comment. I honestly thought she would just let it blow over. What do you think to the vegan status changing? Would you be upset if you found out you had been using a palette that contains carmine? And do you think Jaclyn should stay with Morphe or focus on her own brand? Let me know in the comments section below, and if you could like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to become part of the notification squad, that would be awesome. See you next time!